Okay, so just finished the hearing. Kind of pissed. Um, the DOJ's defense was either I don't know or I can't give you that answer. We don't think that there's a basis for this. Yada 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 yada. Whatever. He did come back from the break and tell a story about a case where he held the people in contempt, and he doesn't like to do it because it affects careers long term, especially if you want to be a judge and things like that later on in life. But he did do it. Then it was appealed. Then the appellate court said no, he in fact did the right thing by holding them in contempt because he was holding them the people there was a whistleblower involved, all that kind of stuff that said that the DOJ actually did hold things back. And so what he was doing was holding them in contempt until they provide the documentation that was necessary. And the appellate court said he was right. So he kind of came back and said, I don't want to hold people in contempt. No one's in trouble, but I'm having this conversation so that we're all on the same page, and that I'm willing to do it if the law is not followed. And then he ordered Fangs, the plaintiff, to do a couple of things and gave them 10 days to do it. I don't know. I had difficulty because the microphone was wonky throughout, off and on, and so I'm not sure what they are, but I think they're responses to some things from the DOJ. And then he just dismissed everyone. So my guess is he told this story to let the little attorney know that you need to do what you need to do to get this complied with, or else I am going to be willing to hold you in contempt. He said, this was not a threat. This is a promise. So I'm not feeling like that justice was done yet, but I kind of grok why he did it this way, because in the last case where he held contempt, it was the only time he ever had, and hasn't even since. Okay, he said that once he said contempt, they produced the documents later that afternoon. So I'm getting the feeling if I was that attorney, I would take that, oh, I better produce what we need to produce, or I'm going to be in deep caca. And I think he was also communicating to the plaintiff that I will hold them in contempt. I need you to, what I think he was asking is, I need you to respond on what they provided. And then we regroup in 10 days. That's the impression that I got. I could be wrong. I'm looking forward to listening to Katie Fang this afternoon and her interpretation. She's a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. I'm just a resistance kitty. So that was basically the gist of it. Boy, it's just a shame hearing that this DOJ attorney just destroy his career, because that's kind of what these guys are doing by doing this, working these cases. It's really crappy. Anyway, I've got my sleuths on this, on investigating this attorney, and I think we're going to find out a little bit more about him, and we'll do a write-up for you guys so you can kind of see the attorney that we had to listen to today, who was Mr. I don't know, I can't do that, I brought you a binder. Anyway, all right, gang, that's it. I'll see you guys later. We might do a loose threads tonight. It's still up in the air. If you have questions or whatever, ping me later. Bye.